Hi, welcome back to another lesson on IELTS reading module. Today we will discuss mostly about the tips and trick on how to solve match the headings and true false not given and the variation of this question type. Match the headings can also be given in the form of match the information type of questions, which are a little easier than match the headings. And true false not given can also be given like yes, no, not given. So we will discuss about them and dive in the deep details of these questions and how to approach them, what are the different ways to approach them, and how to tackle these with time, managing the time and getting more accuracy. Let's dive right into it. So basically, there are only four type of basic question types in IELTS reading, namely match the headings, true, false, not given, MCQs, and fill-ups. So today we are going to discuss match the headings and true, false, not given. Let's start with match the headings. This is considered one of the toughest question type in IELTS reading. And one tip that I would like to give you is always attempt these question type before any other questions that you have in the paper. Many people like to do fill-ups before, many people like to do other question sets that are given for the same passage before they go for match the headings because they think it gives them more insight about the paragraph, about the passage, which makes sense for some people. But for many, I have seen this tip used to work like wonder. So try it. If it works for you, give it a try. And then use it to get more accuracy and more ease while attempting your reading. So let's start right away. There is one passage that you can, one paragraph. This is the starting paragraph of the passage that I took. This passage may be a little bit more difficult than the ones that you usually tackle, but it has more like kind of complex vocab and extra difficulty can be seen in this part. But I took that for that reason. Like when we run really fast, it's quite easy for us to walk. So if you want to walk really well, then we have to run fast. So that's why the difficulty is here. Once you learn how to tackle such difficult questions, the original questions will be like a piece of cake for you, like a cheese walk. Okay, so let's read it. Modern world is increasingly populated by quasi-intelligent gizmos whose presence we barely notice, but whose creeping ubiquity has removed much human tragedy. A lot of complex words here and a lot of things that might be a little intimidating for people. Like, oh, what are we talking about? But let's just try to work with the things that we can kind of derive from the things that we know. So we know about intelligent, we know about uh, we know about barely presence, we know about the words like human tragedy. So we will try to infer the meaning of the other words. So let's start. Modern world is increasingly populated. So obviously it says that there is something that can be seen in abundance around us by quasi-intelligent gizmos. Okay, we don't know what that means yet. We'll put it aside. Whose presence we barely notice. Okay, something that is all around us, but we don't really notice it. Whose creeping ubiquity. Creep is like, crawl, that you in a manner that kind of a little bit scary or maybe unnoticeable sometimes. And ubiquity, whose creeping ubiquity has removed much human tragedy. Human tragedy means like the fear of being difficult of something. So we feel like, you know, my difficulty has been removed or reduced because of something that is all around me, but I don't notice it. We don't know what quasi-intelligent gizmos mean yet, so we will read ahead. Our factories hum to the rhythm of robot assembly arms. Okay, new information. Our factories, it's a statement. Our factories hum to the rhythm of robot assembly arms. That means our factories are working with robots and they're in quite harmony. Our banking is done at automated teller terminals that thank us with rote politeness for the transaction. We're saying in ATMs, we get a thank you for using the machine, right? So we are taking the money out, we have politeness there, And it's quite easy because there's no person sitting at the cashier table, and they are not like even worried that we are like making the work more for them. So it is easy that ATMs are there for us to collect cash from our bank accounts. Again, we are talking about like computers and robots. Our subway trains are controlled by tireless robo drivers. So again, autopilot on trains. So intelligent and robots. That's what we keep working with here. Our mine shafts are dug by automated bolts, and our nuclear accidents, such as those at Three Mile Island and Chernobyl, are cleaned up by robotic muckers to withstand the radiation. So they're saying that even our miles are dug by robots, and because these people like robots are not badly affected by radiations, or maybe we don't care that much if they're affected by radiations, we can have another robot. So again, one more struggle has gone eliminated, that if a person is working in the mile, the radiation will be unhealthy for them, and they will die in a like painful manner. So that is also has been eliminated because of the robots that are working in the miles to dug the things that human were supposed to do. Great. So far, we are talking about how good robots are and artificial intelligence is for us, with other things that we found very difficult and unhealthy before. So what we can gather here is quasi-intelligent gizmos. That would mean that we are talking about intelligent robots, right? Robots with AI. So that most likely they don't talk about AI, but they are intelligent, right? So again, furthermore, such as the scope of uses envisioned by Carol Capek, a Kazakh playwright who coined the term robot in 1920. So there was a person, Carol Capek, who said that, who envisioned this, like who predicted, like we can use robots this much, and exactly this is what we are seeing nowadays. So this is something that is mentioned there. As the progress accelerates, the experimental becomes exploitable at a record pace. So we are saying that what Carol envisioned is going to be even more proven in the forthcoming time. So it will like robots will be much more useful for us, and we will have much more ease because of them in our lives. Great. Next, now the second thing that we do is we have to name this paragraph. Now we will name it in a manner that kind of sums up whatever the main thing is discussed here. So if you talk about this, let's see. The main things were how robots are good for our lives or helpful, right? For humankind. Okay, so this is one of the name that I would give because 90% of the paragraph talks about how good are robots for us. They are intelligent, they are tireless, they are this and that. So this kind of sums up the crux for it. Great. Now, the next thing that we do is we look at the headings. Oh, let's remove this first. So it goes here. Yeah. Oh, again. Right. Okay, so this is my named, uh, and that's what we can, these are the headings that we can have to choose the R heading from for the given paragraph. So here, if robots are to reach the next level, oh, no, this is the second. This is the next. Yes, right? So this is the same paragraph that we're supposed to title. These are our options, and this is the one that we gave to our paragraph. Now, robots have quietly infiltrated our lives. So quietly, we said here, presence we barely notice. So it's kind of goes on with the quiet word. And infiltrated, we don't know if like infiltrated kind of like kind of came into our life and kind of took over, right? But if we don't know about the meaning of this word, we can keep the first heading as the probable candidate of the title for this paragraph. If we find something better, we will select that. Otherwise, we'll go with the first one. Okay. Second, let's see if we can choose or eliminate the second option. Human skills have been heightened with the help of robotics. Did we talk about human skills in the paragraph? What do you think? We did talk about how human life is better because of robots. We talked about the skills of robots, but not of humans. So the second option will be eliminated, right? So we can just do this here, eliminated, right? This is probable candidate. There are some things that we prefer brain to control. Did we say that something that our robots cannot do? Not so far. We've only talked about the things that robots can do for us and that are really beneficial. So this is also not the title for this paragraph. Original predictions have been revised. Were there any predictions made? Yes, there were predictions about the scope of uses for robots, but they are proven to be true. So nothing is revised. Nothing is like we thought this before, but now we think this. So, change it. There's no change. Everything is in alignment. So this one is also eliminated. Scientists are examining humanistic possibilities. Did we talk about humanistic possibilities here? Most data is about good robots, how robots are good for our lives or helpful for humankind. So again, nothing about humanistic possibility was discussed. There are judgments that robots cannot make. So far, we've only talked good about robots. Nothing that cannot be done by robots has been discussed. So we only have the first, and this is our answer, right? Great job. So we have done the first one. Now we will do the second paragraph for the same passage here. So this is, let's just get rid of it. Okay, now we will read it. We will try to understand it first. Then we will give it a name. And then lastly, what we will do is we will try to see which option out of the given list of options resemble the most with the one that we came up with and the ones that we can eliminate. And in the end, we will choose the remaining one as our final answer. Okay, let's get started. If robots are to reach the next stage of labor serving utility, they will have to operate with less human supervision and be able to make at least a few decisions for themselves. Goals that pose a formidable challenge. So, what we're talking about here is if robots are to reach the next level of the labor serving utility, that means that if we want them to become even better, like labor serving utility, like if we can replace them with a helper, human helper, they will have to operate with less human supervision. Like they should be able to make decisions and do not require a person to supervise them and like help them with making decisions. And that is quite a good challenge for scientists to make robots that much efficient. While we know how to tell, now I'm reading from here, while we know how to tell a robot to handle a specific error, we cannot yet give robot enough common sense to reliably interact with the dynamic world. What we are saying is, yet robots do not have enough common sense to reliably interact with the dynamic world. Maybe I am using giving some command to AI in a sarcastic manner, but that AI, like in that time where we are talking about this passage, uh, AI is not that advanced that it can understand that I'm being sarcastic, and it kind of takes it for something that was not what I meant, and it does something entirely opposite of what it should have done. So that is one thing that this expert said that people, artificial intelligence cannot do. Now, indeed, the quest for true artificial intelligence has produced very mixed results. They're saying that if we tried this with AI, they gave us mixed results. Despite a spasm of initial optimism in 1960s and 70s, when it appeared that transistor circuits and microprocessors might be able to perform in the same way as the human brain by the 21st century, researchers have lately extended their forecast by decades, if not centuries. They're saying that it was thought that by 21st century, people will be able to have computers and like robots act much similar to human brain, but they are far from it right now. And they're thinking that it's going to take more decades to reach that level, if not centuries. It can even take centuries. If it becomes earlier, happens earlier, it is still going to take some decades to complete that task. So they thought that it was going to be done earlier, but then they realized tough than it seemed. So it's going to take more time now. Okay. So basically, they have talked about the robots need human supervision. We thought that human supervision will not be required. Pretty soon, they will be self-efficient, but it seems that they're going to take more time, right? So it kind of feels like it says, uh, one second. It kind of says that it is going to take longer than expected for robots to act similar to a human brain, right? So, yes. Okay. So that's what our uh, given name for the text is. Now let's just quickly take it from our list of headings. Right, so here it is. And let me, yeah. Okay, so there we are. Now what do you think? This, where does it resemble the most? Which of the headings resemble the most to the one that we came up with? Robots have quietly infiltrated our lives has been used, so we will not use it anymore, right? So this is gone. Okay. Human skills have been heightened with the help of robotics. We did not talk about it yet. We only talked about it is going to take longer for robots to reach the level of human brain. There are some things that we prefer brain to control, might be, but the passage was not basically about, like, completely about this. Original predictions have been revised. It is going to take longer. Yes, it kind of fits. Let's see the others. Scientists are examining humanistic possibilities. They are examining, but they only said that, yeah, I don't think they're directly humanistic possibilities being examined here by scientists. They are just kind of trying to explore what is possible with these like what is possible with these robots. Make there are judgments that robots cannot make. We didn't talk about, yes, there are judgments that robots cannot make, right? They need supervision. But was the passage entirely about this? No, it was entirely about original predictions have been revised because we said it's going to take longer than expected for robots to act similar to human brain, right? Because all this, there were examples which we do not take as the much more efficient content for the answer. We only talk about this thing so that we can like you know so that we can uh take statements only and rather select our answer based on that. So do not never select your answers based on the additional information or the examples. Make sure you're taking only statements or independent statements from the text to select your final answer. And that's that. The final answer is fourth. Well done, guys.